Good morning. This morning we have the luxury of making coffee and porridge and packing our bags in this wonderful kitchen. We walk away from Winshields farm campsite on day 14 and our destination today is a place called Bellingham. And the sun is trying to come out and we start the day with a little climb back up to Hadrian's wall, and the first spot of significance is Sycamore Gap. Might be the first ones on the wall today. Saw the trig yesterday. Let's see it again. Tap it again with me. Facing Scotland though. England, Scotland. Tapping the trig. Scotland behind us. You ready?
I am.
Which way, map girl?
That way.
I hope she's right. This sign about Winshields says that Winshields is the halfway point of the wall. We're entering a place called Steel Rig. Now here is a lovely section of wall. Early morning cows, good morning. They're fluffy ones. Hadrian's wall takes you down and then back up again. Lots and lots of times. And here is Sycamore Gap with a fence around the tree. Remember when there was a tree here?
I do.
Yes, very sad. This tree stump is still alive. If we leave it alone, it might sprout new growth. Sycamore Gap selfie.
No.
And if I can find a photograph of us here when the tree was there, I'll pop it in here now. Carry on the Pennine way along Hadrian's wall. Surveying her land. Here we are on the Scottish side of the wall. It's an interesting bit this. And then there it is, we're on the Scottish side, go through this gate. Oh, look at that! We're on the English side of the wall. And this bit where you walk on the Scottish side of the wall and then quickly skip to the English side of the wall is called Craig Lough. If you carried on through that gate there, you would go to House Steads on Hadrian's wall, but we turn our back on England and now heading firmly north towards Scotland. We'll leave Hadrian's wall, we'll take a left and continue on the Pennine way over the stile towards Scotland.
Yay, Scotland, here we come.
Yeah, this is meant to be a boggy path, but it's completely fine. After a few days of rain, yeah, it would be very boggy. We've finally reached the trees, which are further away than they look. And now we're on a 4x4 path On the map it still shows this as a forest, but it's a plantation, I'd say. Grow the trees, chop the trees, grow the trees, chop the trees, that type of an affair. Map girls worked it out that it's from Hadrian's Wall. When you hit the first trees, it's trees, bog, road, trees, bog, then an honesty box. And we've done the first set of trees. This is meant to be the first set of bog, but so far not too bad. In the first section of bog, it's been a bit boggy but not too bad. We found this little oasis where we make a good little camp spot just there. But are we going to stop and have a cup of tea?
Well, I don't know, it's going to rain.
Let's put our rain covers on our packs at least,
yeah,
then, okay.
so.
And then if it doesn't rain,
yeah,
we'll brew up.
get in there.
The sky looks incredible. This is a good spot. This little walled enclosure.
Lovely in there.
Oh, what a great campground. We're about 8 miles in, which is practically halfway, and it's not even midday. Well done.
Great stuff. This is bliss. Feet out. Cooling down. And a cup of coffee.
Awesome.
Lovely jubbly.
Great spot for it as well. By our future camp spot. We're in the second forest, so if you get here, don't be surprised to see it decimated and chopped down. Now that's a forest. So we've done forest, bog, forest, teeny bit of bog, and now we're on the road. Then it's forest, bog, honesty box. We're in the third bit of forest, and look what we found. We found a Chris.
Just can't get rid of
I
him.
think Chris found us.
The rain has set in for a little bit. Pit stop, up the hill, open 24 hours. Please use picnic tables, 4 chairs, toilet, fridge, shelter, even a bed if your feet are saying no further. Wow, how blinking generous is that? I'm just crossing the bridge by the sign. There's one side of the bridge. This is the other. Pit stop, 2 more fields to go. Across the field with cows and calves. And that's the path there. Okay, let's do this. You doing alright?
Oh, I don't like it, but yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm just right behind you.
Right, we've made it in one piece through the cow field. And this is the pit stop. What have we got here, Chris? Help yourself to sweets. Some blankets. What else is here?
Kettle.
There's a fridge, kettle. Excellent. This looks like the bed in the corner. A book to sign, microwave. Walking away from the pit stop at Hornysteads, and we met the owner of the place, Helen, who is a successful Pacific Crest trail walker. Did the whole lot in 5 months back in 2007. Fair play to her. So now we are 3, me, Map Girl and Chris, and we're walking to Bellingham, 5¼ miles. Since leaving Hornysteads, I've gone through a lot of farmland. This row of rocks at the top of the hill is called Shitlington Crags. I kid you not. at those pair of vagabonds. Reprobates.
You're the king of the castle.
I'm surveying my land. We've just done the last climb of the day. That's our first glimpse of Bellingham. So we've just got to go down this little hill and we're there. What do you reckon, half an hour away?
Yeah.
Bellingham has a camping and caravan site. On a nice stone bridge crossing the North River Tyne. A little walk along the river. Cuddy's Well is the local name for St Cuthbert's Well, which gurgles behind St Cuthbert's Church, and it's meant to have magical healing properties. There you go.
Let's try it.
Having a taste. Well, you had a good glug. Good stuff, yeah?
Very nice. Very cool.
And here is the Church of St Cuthbert in Bellingham.
It's open.
There's at least one pub in Bellingham. There's the Rose and Crown pub. Rocky Road Takeaway Cafe. The Cheviot pub. We've just turned right after the co-op. And there's a petrol station here as well. We found the campsite. I think it's pronounced Demesne. Look at this, Chris has beat us to the campsite. It's a campsite and granary cottage. Looks like a bit of a farm campsite. Demesne campsite, easy check-in. There's our tent. There's Chris on the far side pitching his. It's a nice big field. We have come to the pub, and this one's called the Cheviot, and we're going to have a celebratory drink for getting this far. End of the 14th day, and to celebrate 14 days of anarchy, chaos and destruction, I've got a pint of anarchy.
Ah,
And what have
very
you got?
clever. I've got apple shed because I need some apples. Lovely
Anarchy.
jubbly.
So, highlights for today.
First of all, this morning was the rest of Hadrian's Wall and seeing the Sycamore Gap stump. It's no longer.
It's quite sad, but enjoyed being there. Shitlington Rocks.
Shitlington Quarry or
Shitlington
something like
Rocks,
that. Yeah.
Crags.
Crags.
Shitlington Crags.
Crags.
It was nice getting up to there, and then the walk into here was nice. The campsite's good.
Lovely.
Village looks nice.
Oh, and the pit stop. We went to the pit
stop. Was interesting.
It was very interesting.
Chatting to Helen there was nice.
Yeah. Very good.
That's it. So we're going to have this pint and then go back and eat.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool, well done.
Yeah, well done. Waking up at Greenhead campsite. Brilliant campsite. Nice indoor area to repack all your stuff and make sure everything's dry before the big climb on a good grassy path which turns a bit boggy, well trodden, back up to the Pennine way, and then a little hike up to Winshields crags and touch the trig again before a up and down and up and then down to the wonderful spot where the sycamore tree at Sycamore Gap, which is no longer there. Continue on the Pennine Way, and just here you can skip across and walk in Scotland for a short while before coming off the Pennine Way onto this what we thought was going to be a boggy section, but it wasn't really that boggy, but it was a lot longer than we thought to get to the first forest area on this good 4x4 track, which actually wasn't that foresty, and lots of the trees had been cut down. And then you get on to the second boggy section, but this had a little oasis in where we stopped for a tea break, and an absolute fabulous place to camp. A wonderful camp spot just there in between, just after the first section of forest. And then we walk through the second forest area, which again is been cut down, so not much of a forest left, before coming to another boggy section, then a little bit of a road walk, and then into the third and final bit of forest, which was quite a nice little forest by this point. Then the next bit of bog, and this takes you up, it's a steep climb up here to Hornysteads farm. What a wonderful little farm. They do declare that they've got somewhere for you to stay, almost like a little farm, almost like a little barn where there's a bed, a kettle, a fridge. You can make a cup of tea, you can have a pot noodle, there's a few bits and bobs in there for you. And some lovely birds nesting in the ceiling. Quite pleasant. And Helen there is lovely. She's a hiker herself, has some fabulous tales to tell. So then we come through this section here, which is mostly farmland. All this is farmland. Lots of cows, horses, sheep. Before you get to Shitlington Crags. What a great name. A big rocky area that you pass through. And then coming up to the Mass, this is the last climb of the day before coming down to the B6 320 and having the last little walk on the road, crossing over the River Tyne and into Bellingham, where if you have around here somewhere, probably where this star is, you'll find the Caddy's Well, or Cuddy's Well, which is the holy water that the church use. It comes fresh out of the ground, and so we filled our water bottles up. So last section of road before getting to Demesney campsite, which is wonderful. Lovely cut grass, green, lush and flat. And then walking into Bellingham has got all the shops to restock, cafes, pubs, etc. So that's where we are.